Welcome to the show. This is The Force Always. My name is Diz, aka Days Ammit. Let's get on with the show, with the news, the views, the reviews, and interviews. Making news: Star Wars Celebration, the ticket date of getting tickets for this event in 2027. That's when Star Wars Celebration will be in LA. The date is fastly approaching. My big suggestion after doing some research in the actual area of where Star Wars Celebration is in LA, downtown, you really need to get onto booking some sort of accommodation in that area. That alone and getting tickets, I think, is going to be quite difficult this time around, being 50th anniversary and being in LA, and it's going to be absolutely intense. So I just suggest as a news item that tickets are selling, reservations are really selling out in the LA area if you want to get to Star Wars Celebration in some sort of comfortable time slot, because anything that is in Hollywood Boulevard, or if you're going to go in St. Monica, or if you're going to be in Anaheim, consider the traffic. It's insane. Anyway, that's making news. Also, Gina Carano, who played Cara Dune in the Mandalorian TV series on Disney Plus, we last saw her in the last episode in season 2 of The Mandalorian, probably the most memorable and the best episode when Luke Skywalker came to save the day. She was in that particular episode. That's the last time we actually saw her. Has been in talks with Lucasfilm at Disney in coming back again. I'll say this in my humble opinion. I think some way, somehow, she will be back. That's in my humble opinion. Anyway, to more news. The Mandalorian and Grogu movie, which is coming out in on May 21 here in Melbourne, Australia, and May 22nd in America, which is technically the same date, but because of time zone differences, if you want to get your hands on one of those popcorn containers, I found out from just my local cinema here, which is quite a big cinema here, they have only got 4 popcorn buckets of each of the limited edition ones, the one of the AT-AT Walker and the one of the Mandalorian helmet with the Grogu attached. There's only 4 of each. So if you're going to get these particular popcorn containers, unless they have a reserve of them on the actual day, which I don't know if that's going to happen, with 4 only being available now. Maybe they'll have more on the actual day, I don't know. Let's wish there's more than just 4, because there's more than 4 hardcore Star Wars fans, let me tell you, out there that will buy that stuff. You may want to get yourself your hands on now before the possibility of them selling out. Oh, so good. Actually, I need a Mandalorian pill. Beautiful. Anyway, to more news, which I always say, no news is good news with Starfighter, the movie that's coming out in 2027. As much as I'd like to see something, I'm glad there's nothing out there at the moment. Starfighter has no news, which is good. It's still in the making process. Just to let you know. Anyway, so that's the news. So let's now get into the views. Views is my viewpoint and or story idea that I have with Star Wars. Now, I accept the story for what it is. The start to finish, no matter what it is, prequels, originals, sequels, whatever you want to look, I accept it because you know what? It's still a great space adventure. Adventure being the highlighted point. Doesn't matter if it's in space. It's an adventure. It's great. It's a good story. You know, there's been ups and downs, but it doesn't matter. My viewpoint is, should Karina Giano, so Cara Dune, the character, let's just get to that point. Cara Dune, who appeared in Mandalorian, who got fired by Disney for making continued comments, I think, online that was not suited to the business of Disney Plus. It was causing some conflict or whatever it was. I'm not exactly sure. I know it's roughly that. Should she make a comeback in Star Wars? Now, as a character, I think she was a great character. I don't know if I would bring back the idea of Star Wars Rangers. I think that was a TV show that were in the process. It seems to be a little bit kid-like in the form of G.I. Joe sort of feel. I don't know if that would be great. You know, if it does come out, I'll see it because I accept the story for what it is. But I definitely think Cara Dune's character was a great character that was building, and it just came to a sudden end. Even unfortunately, who played, and I don't know his name, my goodness, I've misplaced his name, the guy who played Apollo Creed in Rocky, who unfortunately died a year or two ago, and he won't be coming back, obviously, unless there's AI permission, which I think would be not the best. But anyway, but going back to Cara Dune, the character, Gina Carano, that's her name, Gina Carano. I think she should come back as a character, not because empathy or being sympathetic or whatever. I just think she was a good character. There's a lot more to her than meets the eye as a character. It would be great if we do get a surprise appearance of her in The Mandalorian and Grogu. I think that's pretty unlikely, but yeah, my big thing for Mandalorian and Grogu is to somehow visit the planet of where the Yoda species comes from. We don't know anything about the Yoda species. This is a great film to really have the word of mouth really spread, and that would for that particular film. And I would love to see Cara Dune in that film, but if not, Cara Dune, the character, should come back to Star Wars. That's what I think. Anyway, so that's my views. Let's get into reviews. Reviews this time around is going to be of a particular short film, a fan film. Let me get to a fan film that I viewed the other day, and this one is going to be on. Let me just find the particular short film thing that I was looking at. I'm just looking it up right now. If you can hold on for one moment. Just looking for it right now. It was Star Wars Qui-Gon Jinn visits Darth Vader after his fight with Luke Skywalker. I did speak about this the other day, but I just think I will speak about a bit more. Skywalker Stories did this. It was visually good. It was sort of a bit psychologically slow moving in its storytelling. It was good. It's just, look, straight off the bat, I'm going to give this about an 8 out of 10. I wasn't mesmerized. It didn't really sort of give anything that was, absolutely memorable, blowing the mind away. It doesn't have to be about the AI that blows my mind away. I mean, that sort of helps to have it seamless. It is good. It sort of does get into the psychological aspect of Darth Vader at the time with Qui-Gon. It's interesting, but it's okay. Like, it's more than okay. It's an 8 out of 10. So definitely check that out. It's Star Wars Qui-Gon visits Darth Vader after his fight with Luke Skywalker. I did speak about this before. I'm going to let you know now as a review. It is 8 out of 10. Check that out on YouTube somewhere. Anyway, let's get into now the interviews, which is usually my questions I get on my last particular video. Now, because I've had a big week this week with special editions reviewing movies other than a Star Wars type of film, because we've had the movie Michael, we've had the movie Beast, which it was an advanced screening for myself, which I'm a part of an association here to see advanced screenings of certain things, and I thought it would be just good to sort of go outside the Star Wars realm, but from a Star Wars fan perspective, and I mean a Star Wars fan perspective. Anyway, the last lot of questions I got, which is from our favourite Michael from Werribee South. Let's get right into them. And you can send in your questions anytime. Send in trivia, send in just opinionated questions, send just in a comment, whatever you like. And while I'm on the tip, subscribe to the channel. The Force Always. I'm here 3 or 4 times a week with Star Wars news, views, reviews, and interviews. Anyway, so the first question was, who was on the hologram? Maul Episode 6 ends with the Inquisitor Marek reporting to a mysterious lord. While Inquisitors typically report to Grand Inquisitor, the formal title used has led many to speculate it was actually Darth Vader. I thought the ending of this particular episode was good, just not enough to want it to be a cliffhanger sort of end, but it's either going to be Vader or Palpatine, Emperor Palpatine. I think it's going to be Vader, and that's what I'll say. I think it's going to be Vader on the other end. It's going to lead into the final episode, which is episode 10, and that will be some sort of big climax to the whole series, with Vader possibly taking on Maul. And I won't say possibly, I think it's going to happen. Anyway, the next question, does the ensemble focus work? Critics have noted that Maul himself takes a back seat in these 2 episodes, leading to questions about whether the supporting cast, Devon and Lawson, is strong enough to carry this series alone. Well, there is interesting aspects to Devon and Lawson. More with Devon being a Jedi, but you can't always have the actual character be front and center in a TV series. You need, it needs to work on the side, needs to work in the back a little, but mainly up front and center. And that's what we've been given. And I think these last 2 episodes, even though I thought they were, a bit of a setup type particular 2 episodes, were still good. And it was good that I don't think he did take a back seat, but if that was your perspective, I think his back seat was fine. I'm fine with it. I think Devon's character is great. Lawson's character is great. I just think he's got a little bit of a tacky type American voice, but still has an authoritarian sort of feel, being a law enforcement officer, which I can't stand law enforcement officers in Star Wars, the actual universe, because really the law enforcement officers really are stormtroopers, because the whole galaxy is run by Emperor Palpatine. But having police in the thing is, I accept the story for what it is. But anyway, so so that's the answer to that question. The next question from Michael from Werribee South is Marek more than just a minion? Reviewers are interested in how the show will bridge the gap between the version of Marek described as a slasher villain and his eventual appearance in Ahsoka. Who knows? That is only going to just be revealed in the next couple episodes, what his, not fate will be, but his journey will be. I think anything that would be interesting about Marek is a face reveal. That's what I'm looking forward towards with that particular character. I think the actual armor he's got, as I've said, looks a bit too medieval in the actual reality of Earth, in medieval sort of times, like a knight. But anyway, I'd like to see who's a visual face. That's what I'd like to see. The next and final question from Michael from Werribee South: is the show too marketable? Some critics on social media argue that the series has softened more into a marketable anti-hero rather than a mythic monster George Lucas originally envisioned. Look, I don't think he's softened to the point where it's like Boba Fett in the actual TV series. he has not softened, but he's become realistic to his journey in life. He's been sold out badly by Emperor Palpatine, or before he came Emperor, being Palpatine, and he's now on his own. He had to survive and come back from death, the classic Star Wars death, and sort of come from, the bottom to the top again. I don't think he's been softened. I don't think he is a hero. I think he's just coming within himself, understanding that, it's all for himself and that's it. And he's still, quite vicious in his ways. And I think he's got, he's learned his lesson, and he's also learned how to manipulate, especially from the likes of Palpatine, Emperor Palpatine, the master manipulator. Anyway, that's my answer to the question. That's the show for today. And please subscribe to the channel, The Force Always. I'm here 3 or 4 times a week. Like and share the video if you like. And until next time, my friends, keep rocking.